Well, there are a lot of issues, obviously, and what you say about these issues makes a whole lot of sense to me, and I'm trusting that it does to your listeners as well. But in various media, various venues, you have been called things like anarchist, either directly or indirectly, a fool, a nut, and on a blog, you were called a crackpot.
Yeah, now who called me all those things?
If I remember correctly, it was the mayor herself.
Yeah, gee, that about sums it up, doesn't it? All those things. Well, I'll tell you what, I react to it like this. I'm old school when it comes to politics. I think that certain people are, I think people are born leaders. I think it has to be in your blood to be in the public and to go out and be candidates. I think it has to be in your blood to do that. And part of it being in your blood is you got to have a thick skin. You got to understand that, whatever you say, there's somebody on the other side that isn't going to like it very much. And, just as an example, I once did a show with a couple friends about a year and a half ago. I don't think you were on this one, where we did one on the local school district. And the show aired Thursday night, and by Sunday night I had 81 email responses from the show, which is, I was stunned at it. And a lot of them were not very flattering. I was called fat and stupid and blah, blah, blah. And if I walked around and clenched my fists every time I was called something, that's all I'd ever do. And I wonder whether anybody at the city council's gotten 81 emails all year from their constituents, let alone in one weekend. So I think as far as people can take the heat, I think I can do that, and I can do it just fine. Now, what bothers me about what Renee said about me is look, one thing about Renee, she's not a phony. She's passionate about what she wants. She's dedicated to it. And I have a respect for people who are informed and passionate about the issues. What bothers me about her going off on me on a blog or on her Facebook page is more that it's not substance-based. I've tried to make my disagreements with the council about their policies. And it's not, hey, Richter's a dummy and here's why. It's, that's just a fool, he's just stupid. And, I think it says more about her than about me. So if she wants to, and look, I know that that's coming. If she runs again, I don't even know if she's running, but if she runs again, I know, and that's something I thought about when I thought about doing this. I know that the name calling and stuff is going to be there, and you have to be able to take that stuff. So I got my bulletproof vest. I'm ready to take the punishment that comes with it.
Well, I know that you're up to that. You mentioned having been born and raised in Crystal. In fact, you went to school in the Robbinsdale School District. In fact, you went to high school with Renee Bowman's daughter, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago due to cancer. But did you know Angel Bowman very well? Or?
Yeah, I did. I did know her pretty well. We weren't great friends. We knew each other. And she's one of the people that I sort of lost touch with after graduation. Way back in the 90s, we didn't have Facebook and Twitter and that stuff. So she is one of the people I lost track of after graduation. And I didn't even know she was Renee's daughter until pretty recently. And I didn't know she had passed away until not all that long ago, maybe 6-7 months ago. And one of the things I've been struggling with is I've never spoken to Renee about it. And it's something that I would like to do one day. I've been struggling with how to bring it up and to say that I knew her, and I would love to speak about Angel to her. And I don't think this is the right venue, but I don't know quite how to bring it up. I hope I do one day. I hope we can set aside the obvious disagreements, and if you want to call it bitterness or whatever label you want to put on it. And I hope one day we can have a beer or some cheap gin and speak about that just as two human beings. I mean, I know from when my mother passed away and my grandparents were still alive, well, I mean, I know it was the worst day of their life, and I can only imagine for Renee, it had to be the worst day of her life too. And so, but I would like to, say those things to her, and I hope I can someday. So that's, but I did know her not all that well, but in retrospect, I wish I would have, in retrospect. Yeah.
Well, obviously through this show, people are getting to know you more and more. And it's my impression, and I'm sure that of many, that you are a man of the people.
I'll try.
And appreciating your passion, one of the things that's going to be important in a campaign is generating public support and people coming into your campaign to help out. Is it too early to talk about that, or are there ways that people could prepare themselves to support a campaign for Andrew Richter for mayor?
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the things you can do is just be informed. I mean, I think that's something, and people tell me all the time, well, I don't have the time to follow that. Well, how many hours do you spend in a week watching sports? Right. How many hours do you spend watching, Mythbusters or Bewitched reruns or whatever? I mean, the idea that, I think we have a duty as citizens to be informed on the issues. We're going to be rolling out a Facebook page, website, YouTube sites during the next couple months.
Okay.
So those are, is it too early? Not really, because these issues, the budget and all that, and whether I win or lose, remember, it doesn't end, winning one election is the beginning,
right,
not the end of something.
Right.
And I think that win or lose, I'm going to continue to be an advocate for the things that I'm bringing up here. And that's the thing, is that it's not all about me. It's about what we're doing and how we want to, I would call it save our city, or change it, however you want to do it, but change directions. And so, I think the number one thing people can do is be informed, ask questions, whether that's writing letters to the editor, whether that's emailing your council person, whether it's just watching meetings, whether it's watching the show, however you want to do it. I think that's an informed public is something that I think is the best check
right
to the government.
And obviously the council meetings are televised. They're also available on basically podcast. You can watch them on the computer anytime you want, anytime you've got some spare time. You can watch it in segments if you want, whatever, just to become informed.
And I'll say this too: they're on Channel 16 on your Comcast, and City of Crystal has theirs replayed Sunday nights if you miss it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Just to let people know. I'll tell you one change. You just got me to thinking. One change I definitely want to make is that their work sessions are not televised.
Oh, they're not currently televised, and you'd like them to be televised. Yes,
I do, because the work session is where the nuts and bolts really get done. And there's really no excuse. I've heard their feeble reasons as to why they're not. But I think that, the work sessions, I don't understand in a world where everybody's cell phone is a voice recorder or a camera or a camcorder, why it's so hard that these, one of the things they have is they often do a work session after the council meeting. Well, why can't you just sit there and let the cameras run? Is there something on Channel 16 that's got to be played? And it just tells me they don't want them to be, and they could certainly do a better job summarizing them. The summaries of them stink, they're terrible, there's no information there for citizens. Whoever fills it out looks like they're late to lunch. They could certainly do a better job with that. It's inexcusable. And that's definitely, I don't care if I have to bring a camera and put it on YouTube myself. There's no excuse that those shouldn't be on, and it's definitely a change that we have to make, because how they arrive at these budget decisions does not happen at the meetings. It happens at the work session. The public deserves to see that debate. Now, yes, you can go if you want physically, but how many people who have a job, have kids, have whatever, can drop what they're doing and go to all these work sessions? It's not possible. So they need to be televised, and they're going to be as soon as I'm the mayor.
Okay, we're wrapping up the 100th episode,
Hey.
and I want to congratulate you on
Right.
on
You made
that,
the century mark.
and also on your candidacy for mayor. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time.